This is part 2 of reviewing your submitted projects that you added to my tweet. Thank you so much. So let's jump straight into it. A link to part 1 in the description below. So next up we have Steve and their project. Let's go take a look and see what you think. What are your first impressions when you look at this project? We always look at the stars. We do. It's got 370. It shows it's quite serious. I quite looking at that it was updated, or last commit was a week ago, so I still think that's really an active project. I do see there is something failing on CI, so it's definitely worth checking out. Maybe that's somewhere you could contribute. It does have a one-line description, which I think is super important. 1 or 2 lines, keep it nice, short and sweet. And really important, it does have a link to go and view the project, which I think is so important. So people can go have a play and have a look, and this looks really cool. What else jumps out? Well, you've got issues and pull requests, looks really good. There are no releases, the next thing that kind of jumps out to me. So I would say that they should hide the releases. I would actually recommend doing releases, but until you are, for whatever reason, I would say hide this. You get a cog at the top right, just click it and hide this section. And same with packages. If you're not using packages, just hide it. Packages gets used less, but I'd highly recommend using releases. And you've got the sponsor section, which is awesome, contributors and the languages. So let's have a look. What else we got? The README looks really nice, looks great. Yes, the latest tests are failing as well. We saw that at the top. I would probably add a screenshot or an animated GIF. Really, an animated GIF is like the next level up above a screenshot, and put it here. So before even people click a link, they can straight away see kind of, what the project looks like, is about. I mean, we've got an idea what it's about, create beautiful images of code, but it'd be good to have an animated GIF here. I would just record your screen and convert it into a GIF and put it in there. I think that's great. But this looks really interesting. I really want to start using your project actually, so I'm going to take a look. Let's dig a little bit more deeper and see what else we've got in the community standards. I do recommend everyone checking this on their own project. As you can see, there's no code of conduct. I don't contribute to projects that don't have a code of conduct. I think that's really important. You don't have a contributing guide. I would definitely recommend having that, even if it is just a few bullet points of what you want. Raise an issue first, get it assigned before raising a pull request. Or if it's just a free-for-all, which some projects are, then by all means just say, submit your pull request and go ahead. And it's, I think it's a bit of a wild west, because what happens if you get 2 or 3 projects solving the same problem? How do you choose which one to do? And you always have to upset 2 people and accept 1. Or you could, say no to all of them and upset all 3, which that's for 3. That's probably not what you want to do. But I would just make it clear in the contributing guide so everyone knows what they are doing and where they're at. And I recommend some issue templates as well. You're welcome to look at BIODROP or Repo Rater, and you can take some of those issue templates as well and customize them according to yourself. But no, this looks good. If you're using project board, keep it. And you're not using project board, so I would say hide the project board tab. You've hidden wiki and discussions. So I would just say hide projects as well. They're not being used. So they'll be in the settings tab that you would have here after insights. I don't have that because I'm not an admin or a maintainer on your project. But that's what I recommend. But looks good. Thank you so much for sharing. Really appreciate it. What do we have next? Okay, we have Nevo's next. Let's go have a look. Cross public. What's it about? Convert your support channels into public FAQs with AI. Okay, looks good. Almost 100 stars. You'll get there soon. Not too far to go. So that's awesome. I think the first 50, the first 100 are probably the hardest anyway. So last active in the last 3 weeks. That's big thumbs up. GitHub Actions is working. So big thumbs up as well. So that's really good. And I got an extra tip about GitHub Actions that I'll show in this one, but it applies to any project. So we'll get to that shortly. You have 23 open issues. That's great. No pull requests open at the moment. So that's fine, it happens. You've got deployment shown, but you've hidden the releases because you're not using it, and you've hidden packages, that's the one. Again, great that you're hiding stuff that's not being used, and you've got a link to the website as well, which I think is great. Have you got a video example? I like that. That is really good. Yes, with GitHub now, you can add videos to your README, which is awesome. I think it looks really good. Interesting how you've got star 29.9. I wonder which project you got that. We don't have 29.9. It's still funny. I think it's good. But yeah, it's looking good. Project boards, are you using it? You're not using it either. So I would say hide that, keep it focused like you did with the packages and releases. Let's have a look at the community standard. Again, add a code of conduct, add a contributing guide. I think it's so important. And you have got the issue and pull request templates. So the thing that I was going to show you, I didn't show in the last repo, was you can go and see how you can add value to these projects by checking out the package JSON. And what I mean by that is, look at all these scripts. These scripts probably can be automated and checked. So what have we got? We've got dev. What else have we got? We've got Stripe. Let's have a look. There's no tests. And there's docs, right? You can serve the docs, but maybe there's a way to build the docs just to make sure that it doesn't break. So things like that, I think, are really good. Not to serve them necessarily, unless you're running tests, but to build it. So if we go to the GitHub Actions, I don't think there are any GitHub Actions. I thought it was green. So there are no GitHub Actions. But one thing you could do, going back to the package JSON, is have a look at what can be done. So this is run backend, run panel, and so forth, lots of projects. There's usually a build step. I'm trying to have a look and see, and you could build that on a GitHub action. You could lint it. You could run various things. Here you go, docs build. So build that and make sure that the docs build correctly. If not, fail the GitHub action. So there are various things you can do like that as well. So I hope that helps. And Nevo, thank you so much for sharing the project. And we have Jason up next with Pizza Pix. Let's have a look. So Pizza Pix, what is the project about? I'm not sure yet. Well, I am sure because I follow Jason on Twitter. I know what they're up to. But someone coming to this repo because someone shared a link or it's appeared on GitHub trending, or they've just naturally discovered it from Twitter or anything like that. They don't know what it's about. So I'd highly recommend doing that. And if you've also got a link to a deployed version, I think that's super important. I recommend, as I said, hiding releases and packages if you're not using them, but do use releases. They are, pretty awesome. Oh, there you go, contributors. I recognize that person. That's me. Okay, so what else have we got? You've got a repo rater badge. That's awesome. And it's got two ratings. And what this means is it gives the the overall rating. So it's 5 out of 5. And if you click it, I've opened it in a new tab, and here you go. Someone else can go rate it as well, which is good. But anyway, it's not about my project. It's about your project. So you talk a bit about it. So what I recommend is trying to take one sentence up there at the top and also use the topics as well. I think that's super, super important. And you've got how to build it locally as well. Issue templates, how to do pull requests. I really like that. So are you using GitHub Actions? You're not using GitHub Actions yet. I think one way that people could get some green squares is raise an issue for this and then raise a pull request is what you can do. Let's have a look here. What have you got here? Oh, I'm looking at dependencies, looking at scripts. You've got a build. I would definitely recommend running that on GitHub Action. I think it'd be important, and the linter as well. So you can run a couple of those commands on a GitHub Action. Projects. Not using projects, so I would definitely hide that. Discussions is kind of being used, so I would keep that. That's fine. Let's have a look at insights as well. Missing code of conduct, missing description, like I mentioned as well. Missing contributing. I need a license too. I know a lot of people won't contribute to projects if they don't have an open source license. So do actually have a look into that, I would say, as a top priority. People who want to contribute can also add those files as well. So you don't have to be the maintainer. You have to be the maintainer to accept it. And remember, you don't have to be a maintainer to review a pull request. Yes, you can't accept it, but you can still review it and add your feedback. I would say add a screenshot or ideally an animated GIF to the README. I think that would be super, super helpful. I think issue template now, you can put it in the .github folder. Same with the pull request template. Yeah, so you got two there. What is the one? Is this being used? Yeah, this might not be being used anymore, so you might be able to remove that. Someone check it out, and there's some more green squares for you. But thank you so much for sharing. Okay, we have another one here. Let's have a look. Keypass, 426 stars, nice 48 forks. Really like that you got a description. Keypass, open source and offline password manager. It's in the Play Store, really like that. You got releases using Semver as well, looks really good. Contributors, deployments, and languages. That looks great. Nice, some badges there. We should stick a repo rater badge in there. What else have we got? These screenshots from the app, that looks really good. I like that. It's kind of Not so obvious, it's very creative. I think that's a really, really good idea. You've listed your features. Do you have any other features coming out like in the future that you could maybe list here as unticked? But I think this looks really good. It looks great. I don't know if the license is needed in the README, to be honest. It's usually on the right-hand side here. There you go, MIT license, and it goes, you click it, and it usually goes somewhere. In this case, it's not. I thought it went straight to the file, but it's there. I don't know if you need it, but again, that's just probably a personal preference. This looks really good. Last commit 2 weeks ago, so still active, and also 4 successes on GitHub Actions. Awesome. Issues and pull requests. So it looks like you got some, so that's great. This is really good. Oh, interesting. You'd put your releases in here. Okay. Do you also put them in the actual releases as well? You do. Okay. Interested to know a bit more about that. Everyone does things slightly differently, so it'd just be interesting to know. Insights, community standards, what do we have? Full house, you don't have a pull request template, but that's not the end of the world. I think you could, put a few things in there. Did you, read the documentation? Did you update the documentation if relevant and things like that? But it's not a major blocker. It looks good. What do you all think? Let us know in the description below. Remember, I'm here to start the conversation and I want you to continue it. I think all these discussions and collaborations and content is still a two-way discussion. So do in the comments below on any of these repos, let me know what you think, what stands out for you, what do you think is missing? I'm here to learn as well, and that's why I'm here to start the conversation and we will learn together. But I think this looks really good. Let's have a look at this. Okay, so time loom, document your technical journey, activity timeline style page and showcase it to the world. Let's go have a peek and see what it looks like. Okay, it's similar to, I guess, BIODROP, Linktree in terms of the links on the left and the bio, and then you got the timeline on the right. I mean, it looks really good. I think it looks nice. Let's head back to the repo and see what we noticed. Well, 2 months ago, so maybe it's not so active anymore. I'd be curious to know. Maybe something's written in the README. I think if there's been no activity for a month, then it starts not being so active. But some projects, if there's like a utility or a library that does one thing, then that's probably not going to change that often. But when it's more of a platform, I think it changes a bit more often, I think. So you have no releases yet and no tags, but you have got the deployment shown and you've hidden releases. I would definitely take a release, especially if nothing's been merged in 2 months and you're probably happy with that and it's probably pretty stable. So I would recommend doing that. Other things that jump out, I would put, the screenshot that you have on the homepage in the README. I think you're missing an opportunity there to show people how awesome it looks because the design looks great. I would definitely have a look. Check out the toy version. This is yours. So I would take a screenshot of this with a link, leave the link there, don't remove the link, but I would definitely put that below there. Table of contents isn't needed because if I scroll up, you'll see this bar on the top gets stuck on the top, see? And when I do that, you'll see you've got the table of contents for the sections. And actually, these aren't clickable anyway. So to be honest, I would ditch this section for multiple reasons. I don't think it's needed. But this looks really good. I think it's great. Let's have a look. So we've got discussions. Things are going on there. Brilliant. Actions. You're not using actions yet? I would recommend using actions. It is so awesome. It will find so many bugs before you do just on the simplest things, especially people submitting pull requests. You have a build step and a lint step. I would just run those in GitHub Actions. You could probably copy and paste that from another project. You also have a project board. That's awesome. It's cool. I like it. Done. In progress. Okay. Looks good. I like that. You have a wiki. Is it being used? It looks like it is. Okay, I would personally put it in a docs folder in the project, but yeah, I would put that in the README straight away though. I think that is really useful. And maybe remove the wiki. It doesn't seem like you're using it too much. Let's have a look at the community standards. Okay, it looks pretty good. I mean, the last two that aren't done aren't a major issue. I think you've got the priority one done. But yeah, I think that looks great. Suggestion, GitHub Actions, and a screenshot, animated GIF or something in the README. I think a screenshot could be added by yourself or by someone, a contributor who wants some green squares and wants to get involved in the project. But I think that looks great. Thank you everyone so much for watching this video and for submitting your repositories. We still have a lot more to do. Let's scroll down and see. But I think maybe a part 3, maybe, there's a few more loading now. Maybe a part 4 is needed. Let me know what you think of this video in the comments below. And if you enjoy these and want to do more of them, then I will. But I need your feedback. And if you want to geek out with me every day on open source, you can come to the EddieHub community. We're doing that every day and learning from each other. Link in the description below. I'll see you there.